Hello guys, welcome back to Tap Sac. Today we're going back to Magic the Gathering Arena because we want to try out the quick draft event for Dominaria United, which is the latest set for Magic. So Dominated brings back familiar faces in terms of legendary creatures and old mechanics such as Kicker and Ward, but also new stuff such as Enlist and Domain. So these two may not sound very exciting, but they're actually pretty strong if done right. So let's see if we can do a draft. We're here on MTG Arena on the quick draft for Dominaria United. So I'm going to explain a little bit about some of the archetypes that I think Dominaria is good for. So they do have some examples here of the color combinations that you can go into, such as blue-white, you have Flyers Tempo, you have blue-black Control, and black-red Reckless Aggro. These are pretty standard archetypes for any set in Magic. But let's look at some of the more common mechanics. So for Domain is unique to Dominaria United, whereby if you have more basic land types, then you get better benefits from the cards. So if you look out for cards that have Domain and you synergize with them, have more copies of them, and also put more lands in, then you could get a better deck. But the downside is that you have to probably play in multiple colors, maybe 3, 4, or even 5 colors, and have more basic land types in the deck. So it could create problems if you don't draw well, but once you do, then it gets a lot of value for you. And Kicker is also back in Dominaria United. Kicker is basically a mechanic whereby you pay more mana and you get an additional benefit from casting the card. So Kicker can be good because in the late game when you have lots of extra mana, you can use Kicker and then create more value. And I think there's one more archetype that is not listed here, which is the Defender archetype. So Defender means that a creature cannot attack, it can only block. But I think in this set, there are multiple cards that give a benefit if you have more creatures with Defender. So if you're able to draft those cards and enough of them, then building a Defender deck is definitely doable and you could get more wins with that. Alright, so without more delays, let's get into the game and start drafting. Okay, let's look at our cards. We have our rare is the Quiron Beastcaller. So it's basically using +1/+1 counters. It's nice as a general creature. I think I've seen this before, so we might pick this. Blight Pile is the Defender card. Each opponent loses X life for X number of creatures with Defender. So if you have more creatures with Defender, this would be very good. Fires of Victory. This is Kicker. This has Kicker, so one of the mechanics that is has more prominence in Dominaria United. It's only 2 mana. It can deal damage to the target creature or planeswalker in the number of cards in your hand. So it's like a removal spell. But if you pay 2 and a blue, you actually draw a card. So quite good as well. Ilas Ilkor is a nice 2/2 black-white with Death Touch. And basically, it's like an aristocrat whereby if your creatures die, the opponent loses a life. And when they enter the battlefield, you gain 1 life. So you're slowly draining the opponent down. Not sure what kind of theme we can go with this, but let's keep it in mind. And let's look at some of the other cards. Illusionist has Kicker. Sabotage Kicker. Bellfly Swarm. Nice 1 mana. 1/1 flying. The Rager can draw a card when it enters the battlefield. So nice value. Warhorse with Kicker. What's this? Keldon Strike Team. Create 2/1/1 creature soldier tokens. Smash to Dust. Basically destroy either creatures with Defender, Artifact. Deal 1 damage to each creature opponent's control. Broken Wings, Meteorite, Mana Rock. Okay. So actually quite decent cards. I'm kind of tempted to just pick the rare, but Defender is nice, but not sure what kind of payoff we'll have if we don't draw enough Defenders. So I think the pack 1 pick 1 is always a little bit tricky because you don't really know how your deck is going to go yet. So generally we try to avoid the multicolored cards like Ilas Ilkor, because being black-white means if you want to play this card you have to be in black-white. So it may not be a good thing to commit too early. Removal spells are generally good to have, especially the better ones. So this is not bad, I think, for a red and a colorless. Blight Pile, as mentioned, if we have more synergy of defender, we could pick this, but right now I'm a little bit unsure about what kind of defender cards will be available, so I'm a little bit hesitant to pick this right now. So maybe Beast Caller is still the pick. So let's just go. Ooh, what's this? Chaotic Transformation. This is the rare. Exile up to one target artifact, creature or enchantment, and up to one planeswalker, and one land. Wow. For each permanent exiled this way, you can reveal cards from the top library until you reveal a card that shares a type and put it in battlefield. So a bit janky, this one. You could remove threats by the opponent, but then they will get a replacement, and that replacement could be even worse than what you try to get rid of. So, and for 6 mana, it's quite expensive, so probably not picking this. Shali's Acolyte, 5 mana, 3/4 flying, which is decent, but when it has kicker, it comes in battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. So it has green, so we're already in green, so that's not bad. Sprouting Goblin, green red. You can kick it for green and search for a land card, a basic land type. So if you're playing Domain, then this is great. Rona, if you have lots of instant sorceries, they lose more life. The second part, I don't know if it's going to be super useful, but I think the first ability is the one that people care about. Overall, Lightning Strike is great, deal 3 damage to any target. War Brute, Abomination. Okay. Tide Turner, cast instant and sorceries. Defender, so here's another Defender card. Smash the Dust again, Spare Spinner, and Secret Peaks. So I'm really tempted between the Acolyte and Lightning Strike. I really like that this is a flyer, so maybe let's pick this first. Okay, so we've got some white cards, 4 mana, 2/2 flying Enlist. Alright, so Enlist is the other mechanic that I forgot to mention and is in Dominaria United. So what this does is that as this creature attacks, whenever a creature of Enlist attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control with Summoning Sickness without Summoning Sickness. When you do, add its power to these creatures until end of turn. So basically, if you have another creature that cannot attack for some reason or cannot power through the opponent's blockers, then you can use another creature with Enlist to kind of borrow its power and add to its own. So Sky Knight can essentially borrow a ground creature's power and add it to its own, and then attack with flying. So in this case, the Sky Knight is good because it has flying, so there are times when the opponent cannot block the flying creature and you can use Enlist to keep hitting for multiple damage. Protect the Negotiators is a good card for blue-white. You can create tokens and you can counter spells. Cavalier, and as a battlefield, create a 1/1 creature token. Spawn of Turk is equal number of land cards in your graveyard. So it gets bigger when you have more lands, and then you can put cards into your graveyard, and you can sacrifice a land and gain 2 life. So this is good if you're playing self-mill, putting lands in the graveyard, which we don't have that kind of mechanic going on now, so we'll skip. So removal spell, nice. Draw a card. Okay, so I'm leaning towards the Sky Knight. Might be useful as a flyer. 4 mana is a little bit on the high side. Alright, let's just do that. Okay, I see quite a lot of white cards, which means white is open in a way. And then there are black cards. So that looks like there are some pump spells. You can give 2 creatures +2/+2 until end of turn. It's a 2/1 flyer. This is the creature removal again. But dependent on the number of land types you have. Stall for Time, good for a blue-white. blue-white deck. Take out the shield is not bad as a combat trick, giving your creature lifelink and indestructible. Might be useful. Ooh, Twinferno. It's a red instant that can copy other spells or give a creature double strike. Green-white. Queen Elena of Radak. So power and toughness each equal number of creatures we control. If one or more tokens be created, put an additional 1/1 soldier token. It's in our colors, but I'm not sure if we're creating tokens. I kind of like Maria's Outrider as well. It can just deal damage to each opponent equal to the number of basic land types you control. So if you have 3 basic land types, that's 3 damage directly to the face. And a 4/4 flyer isn't bad. I think there's going to be more copies of this, so let's pick something else. Let's go with Queen Elena. We've got some, the tap lands, which is great. Wrath is a good way to draw cards because you can tap 2 untapped creatures you control and then draw a card. So for blue-white flyers, this would be great. I might just go with the Sacred Peaks and get more basic land types. What's this? Ruling Mons. Wow. It's a 4-mana 3/3 menace. When it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it in a battlefield tap. But if not, you create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Wow. Looks strong. Wonder if I should give it a try. Just pick this up. Double green and a red. Means you can't really play white, or you could play 3 colors. We need to have more of the splash lands that have 2 or more different colors. So okay, let's pick it. Now we're getting a lot of blue cards, and then this is black card against Death Touch and Indestructible. 4/4 reach. Alright, I'm gonna take the land again. And now we're a little bit stuck. I think this is our very first pack. We're back to the very first pack. And there's nothing here that I really want. Maybe Kaladin Strike Team. It's a 3/1. If it's kicked, create 2 1/1 white soldier tokens. And then creatures have control have haste if it enters the battlefield. Sure, let's just take that. Rona's back. Okay, we don't need Rona. Drawbridge as a defender, not going there. Warbrute has Enlist, so maybe not too bad. Alright, let's take Warbrute. And nothing much here I really want. I guess we'll take the land then. Now we're getting a lot of black cards. Pilfer, Tattered Apparition, and Trill of Possibility. Alright, let's go with Pilfer. Twinferno or Hammerhand. Just gonna go with Twinferno. And the Geyser. Alright, pack 2. So our rare is Stronghold Arena. It's black, but you can kick green or white. And when it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life each time it was kicked. So potentially gain 6 life. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to the player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. Wow. So you draw cards, but you lose a lot of life. And being black, we're not in those colors, so a little bit bad for us. Berserker seems okay. Use damage equal to its power, but power of 1. Belmore, pretty good if you have lots of instant and sorceries. You can deal damage to, you can make your creatures bigger. +1/+0 and gain trample for each instant or sorcery you cast. Knowledge Sleeper, on this battlefield it was kicked, each player sacrifices a creature. I don't see much great stuff in the other colors. Jara's Fire Tornado is okay, burn spell. Alright, let's go with the Balduvian Berserker. Another rare, Academy Lore Master. 2/3, you can draw additional card, but spells will cost 2 more that turn. So now I'm getting a lot of blue cards and black cards, not really green. Alright, I think it's time to look at our deck and see what we need to cut. We could go with a green-red splash white kind of build. In fact, Tura would have been good if we have Wrath. If we had picked Wrath earlier, it might have been better than the cards that we have right now. So let's just pick that. 7 mana, 7/7 trample. ETB gain 5 life. Alright, let's try to pick that 7/7. Ooh, what's this? Cleaving Skyrider, 2/2 flash flying. When enters battlefield, if it was kicked, deals X damage to any target, X number of attacking creatures. Not bad. Red white is in our colors, and so is Bird, Argivian Recruiter. I believe at your end step, if a creature you control with power greater than its base power, what? Create a 1/1 token. Alright, so we go with Cleaving Skyrider, and looks like red-white is gonna be our main colors, but we do have Rulic Mons. Another Extinguish the Lights? No. Destroy Evil can destroy a big creature, so let's take it. Another Destroy Evil, we don't need that. Territorial Marrow, 5 mana. Tribute to Urbot would have been great. It's a removal. So okay, let's go to the Marrow. Not drafting very well here in this set, unfortunately. But not in our colors, so we'll just skip. This is the Defender. Alright, so we're gone to our third pack. I see a third copy of Extinguish the Light. And our rare is Keldon Flame Sage. 3 mana, 2/3 with Enlist. When it attacks, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is Keldon's power. You may exile an instant or sorcery, mana value X or less among them, put the rest at the bottom of your library. You may cast exile card without paying its mana cost. I mean, it's a rare, and if we have like lightning strikes and all that, it's gonna be great. So I wouldn't mind taking it. Radha is the other strong green-red card. I might pick Radha actually over the Keldon. So at most we only get +3/+3 if we have 3 basic land types. Although we could try to get more lands, more dual lands. But Flame Sage seems more interesting. You can get a lot of instants and sorceries. So I'm going to pick that as a rare as well. Linebreaker Bailoff can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. It's not bad for 5. 5 mana. I'm going to ignore the black cards. Red, we have a couple of cards that are useful. But I think I'm just gonna pick the Linebreaker Bailoff. And another Linebreaker Bailoff. And another Sky Knight. Okay, I'm just gonna pick the Bailoff. It's in the right colors. And now we have another Sky Rider. Lagumos, not in our colors. Another Acolyte, and this is a Knight of Dawn's Light. 2 mana, 2/2 first strike. Okay, I kind of like this as a lower costing creature. I think one Acolyte is enough, so let's go with the Dawn's Light. Queen Elena again. Crystal Grotto can help to filter your mana, which is not bad. And how many creatures do we have? 16. Okay. So we definitely don't need more creatures. We do need other kind of stuff. Too bad we're really lacking in removal. Nothing much, I feel. Good for us. Okay, I guess we have to take the Firenado. And then Radha comes back. Okay. Alright, let's pick Radha. And nothing here, unfortunately. Broken Wings. Oh wait, there is a Juniper Order. Sure. Artillery Blast. Sure. Okay. And okay. Alright, I feel this is green, white, splash, red. But let's see what we can cut. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of the tortoise, go down 40 cards, so I think this is decent. We've got a lower curve and then a few creatures on top end. The Bailoffs and the Acolyte will be our big guys, and hopefully we get up to 4 mana to cast Radha or Rulik Mons. Still not sure if we should put in the Queen, because we're not really creating tokens except for Rulik Mons and Keldon's Strike Team. Other than that, we're probably using a lot of Kicker and Kicker and Enlist to hopefully gain some value over the opponent. I'm not sure how this will go, but let's go try it out. Prodigal Wizard. Let's see how prodigal he will be. Alright, we're going first. We have a nice share of the land types, green, red, white, and then a grotto that you can also add any color mana. Then we do have Rulik Mons and Radha and the Beast Collar. So actually I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to put it in the peaks first, I guess. Yeah. So for Artillery Blast, we already have 3 land types, which is great. And we're going to cast our Beast Collar for a nice 2/2. And then it can grow bigger if they don't do anything to it, because every time we cast a creature card, it will get a +1/+1 counter. Oh, so the Defender deck. Okay, scry 1. I don't think we can take this. We need another land. Unfortunately, we have no creatures to cast, but we can give this double strike. So let's just pass the turn. Citizen's Arrest. Alright, we got our land, which is great. Kind of tricky. But since this ruling monster has menace, let's just cast this. So when it deals attacks, you can get some value. We can either put a land or get a 1/1 red goblin. Alright, but they've got something else which is really big. I could do Twinferno and give it double strike, which would be nice. Alright, let's do that. Let's just go to double strike. Take action. Okay, yeah, we got a free land. That's nice. Okay, so they're taking it. And then I can cast Rada, I guess. Also a 3/3. So next turn, if Rada and the ruling monster survive, Rada will give the ruling monster +X/+X, so +3/+3. So now I can't attack actually because I would lose Rada effectively. What I could do is just cast a Sky Knight and just pass. Alright, I'm gonna cast a Sky Knight and then next turn I'll use Rada to... I'll use the Enlist to tap Rada, and then Rada will give the +X/+X to the Sky Knight, I guess. Oh, but they do have the drawbridge, which is a way to tap down my creature. Alright, Llanowar Stalker and a Cavalier. That's a lot of guys. Ouch. Wow. What a +1 custom creature on each creature you control. Okay, that is a problem. I think I have to double block and try to get rid of it. Okay. Oh, destroy evil. I wanted that. Alright, so let's attack and enlist. So that is pretty big. And I'm just gonna cast a nice big blocker. Hopefully it will slow them down. So the Sky Knight became an 8 power because of the Enlist abilities, taking 3 power from the Rada, and Rada herself also gives a +3/+3 boost to the Sky Knight because we have we have 3 basic land types. Okay. So I'm gonna block something. Hope they don't have a combat trick. Alright, they don't. But now with the Sky Knight, it's gonna be tricky. The Line Breaker can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Okay, so actually that's everybody. Alright, so I think we can win this if we attack with the Baloth. We'll tap a creature to enlist, so we enlist the Rada and pump the Baloth, well, for 10 power. So I think they can't block, and that will be it. Alright, nice. So we made use of both enlist to gain a lot of power, and yeah, got a good win out of that. So if you can see here, we actually had a nice combo going on with the Baloth, with any enlist ability, as well as Rada. Because when Rada becomes tapped, another target creature gets +X/+X, equal to the number of basic land types. So in our case, it's a +3/+3. And whenever any creature enlists Rada, Rada becomes tapped as well. So not only are you borrowing Rada's power of 3, you're getting another additional +3/+3 boost. So basically a +6/+3 pump on the creature. So Baloth becomes a 10/8, and coincidentally, it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, so all their opponent's creatures had power 2. So that's how we managed to deal 10 damage directly without them being able to do anything. I think what the opponent could have done is leave up mana for the drawbridge so they can tap down one of my creatures. I think it's also a little bit difficult for them because I can always swing in with another creature with Enlist, such as a Sky Knight, and I do have some other instants and sorceries that can give double strike and also kill off maybe the drawbridge so that next turn they can't activate that ability again. Alright, so that was a good game. Let's go on to the next one and see what we can do with this draft deck. Alright, this time we got a pretty bad opening hand with only mountains. We have the Branch Rider, we have Beast Caller in hand but nothing else. So very sketchy. I usually want at least 2 colors in my opening hand, especially if we're playing 3 colors. So I'm gonna mulligan this. Alright, we've got the better lands now with green, red and white all covered. We got the Cleaver, Beast Caller as well. Wow, okay, so let's keep this. We'll get rid of one of the Sky Riders. So I always like to look out for hands with as big a mana base as possible. So in our case, this deck is red, green and white. So here we managed to cover all our colors, which is great. So I'm going to put the peaks first because it's a tap land. So turn 1 usually you don't do anything. So putting a tap land doesn't really affect you. And next turn when it untaps, you can cast more things. And let's see, what's that? It's a Defender. When it enters the battlefield, look at top 6 cards, put a land into your hand. Okay. So nice ram there. And now I'm drawing lots of lands. I'm just going to cast the Beast Caller. Hopefully it doesn't die. And the Sky Rider being a creature with kicker, I could leave it up for a later game and cast it for the kicker cost. So I get more value, but I have to wait till I have 6 mana before I can cast it with kicker. See, so this is a Saga card. They're going to start with Chapter 1, which is Search Library for basic land. And next turn they get a 1/1. And the next turn they get a buff of +X/+X. So it looks like this is a true domain deck. Very strong. But for now, let's cast the Flame Sage. And let's just attack. So they might block, but I don't think so. Alright. They already have 3 basic land types, so it could be a +3/+3 and trample next turn, or even +4/+4 if they have put in another land type. Cavalier creates a 1/1. Wow, nice. So right now we have, I think, an option which is to do cast the Sky Knight and then just pass a turn. Because if I attack with both, even as a 4/4 Beast Caller, they could block all 4. They could trade 3 creatures for my Beast Caller, which I'm not sure if I want. So for now, I'm just going to cast Sky Knight. So I'm going to pass. Rager will get them a card and lose 1 life. A good value card. And Cavalier is expected to attack. Okay. Alright, so they enlisted one of the 1/1s for a 6/5. So I'm not going to block that. And the Gardener for 1/1 with Death Touch. So the Death Touch kind of really stops my Beast Caller. What I'm going to do is cast the Strike Team with Kicker. So what happens is that I'll get a 3/1 and 2 1/1s, and they all have haste. So it would be good. I could attack with the 3/1 Or then again, maybe not. But let's just cast it with Kicker. Alright, so now I can enlist something. Kind of tricky actually. So maybe not just, I'll just send the Sky Knight in. Oh, kind of not used to the ability. Tap a creature down, so I'll do Beast Collar. Alright. Oh, okay. Opponent conceded, I think because he didn't have flyers, unfortunately. So having Enlist on a flyer like the Sky Knight is very strong, because when you don't have any blockers, you can just enlist your own creatures. So in this case, we just enlist the Beast Collar with power 5, make our Sky Knight a 7/2, and just swing in. And we have enough blockers to kind of like hold them off. And in the next turn, if we had 6 mana, we would be casting the Sky Rider for with the Kicker. So 6 mana, we can deal X damage to any target, or X number of attacking creatures. So actually, if we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures attacking, that would be 6 damage to any target. And this any target can even go to the opponent's directly to the opponent's life total. So pretty good aggressive strategy. We're lucky that the opponent didn't have any big threats on the board so far. There are lots of small creatures with Enlist and the Defender, but yeah, we managed to get a nice win here. Alright, so that's it for our drafting with dummies episode for Dominaria United. I hope you had a good glimpse of what this set is all about and its main mechanics and archetypes. I'm sorry if the drafting process was a bit messy, because I'm also a little bit rusty with drafting and haven't had much experience with Dominaria United. But if you can see from our deck here, we actually went with a green, red, white in the end. We were kind of undecided between green, white, red, white, or green, red, but eventually we just went with all 3 colors. So we drafted the Beast Collar on turn 1, pick 1, which has been pretty good. If you can get it on your opening hand, it can grow to very big, and even if the opponent kills it, you get to redistribute those +1/+1 counters. But I think the ability that we really made use of was Enlist. Enlist on the Baloth or on the Sky Knight lets you draw or borrow power from another creature, but the downside is that you have to tap down that creature, which means that it won't be available to you as a blocker as well. So make sure you plan properly and not overcommit on your attackers or Enlist, so that you still have enough defenders to defend your life total. We also had other combat tricks, for instance, such as Destroy Evil, Artillery Blast, Runic Shot, Take Up the Shield. These are a little bit situational, because you're kind of hoping that they will block your creature or try to target your creature. Destroy Evil also requires that the opponent's creatures have toughness 4. Artillery Blast depends on the number of basic land types you have. So all not the best of their class, but seeing that we didn't draw that many good removal spells, or they weren't in our colors because we're not in black, then these would have to do. I think Radha and Relic Mons are very strong if you can get them working. Relic Mons just gets you so much value when you attack, and Radha as well can buff a creature much more than what it should be. So when you combine Radha with Enlist, this is like almost double the amount of buffs. So pretty scary. But other than that, yeah, this is our draft deck. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. If you want to see more stuff on Magic the Gathering, do subscribe and leave a comment as to how maybe what you've been playing on draft or on arena. We actually want to try playing more standard again, see what the new meta is about. You can also try out the other spin-off Magic game, Spellslingers. We also have some videos on that. So if you want to watch more of those, it'll be good if you can subscribe. Alright, so that's it from us. Tapping out now. Take care, stay safe, and see you guys next time.